Hi everyone. My name is Jerry Wise, and this video is about why do you keep finding yourself in toxic relationships, particularly if you've grown up with narcissistic parents. There are 5 things I want to share with you today. Number 1, why do we keep finding ourselves in toxic relationships? Because our picker has been programmed that is based on unconscious chemistry. It operates out of what we don't know about ourselves often and what we don't know about how we have functioned and function in our family of origin. And I think that's an important maxim to remember because so many people say, it just seems like I can't get a healthy relationship. Well, I can understand that could be a problem. Do you know how's your picker doing? Oh, it's not a good picker. It might be a good picker in the beginning, but that they end up being, a toxic mess later on, a boyfriend or a spouse, and people are very frustrated about that repetitive dynamic, and they see that in their past. The bad news is that pattern has been going on for some time within you and in your relationships. The good news is things can change and you can change. I've seen it happen. I've changed. Others have changed. And we don't have to live based on that unconscious chemistry or what we don't know about ourselves or how our family of origin is functioning within us. And what I mean by that unconscious chemistry, our subjectivity that includes love is conditional. Love hurts. And that love equals enmeshment. Relationships and love resolves my inner pain. If we have that template within us, even unconsciously, guess who we're going to choose? People who also believe that or who practice that, and then we find ourselves getting into unhealthy relationships. And I'm not saying that narcissists and sociopaths cannot trick people into relationships. I know that they can. I also know that we always want to be on alert for how do my dynamics play into this. That's what's very important because those are some things I think can change. And what I also talk about, which is self-differentiation, we have a broken level of self-differentiation that we inherited from our family and from our parents. And we have a hidden level of unfelt anxiety, which causes reactivity and all kinds of things, which also can get us into unhealthy relationships. Number 2, unrecognized healthy boundaries. We don't recognize healthy boundaries. We don't have healthy boundaries. Our boundaries may not even be present. We may have totally porous boundaries. And we don't see healthy boundaries out there. We might not even recognize them if we saw them. Or even if we saw them, we might be repelled by them. Even we might be offended by healthy boundaries. And many people do. Think about the first time, and this may be an example, but I can remember first time when I have a friend who's healthier than I am. And I'm thinking boundaries are pretty fluid. They're, enmeshment is the norm. And then they, out of their health, say, well, that's not exactly what I would like to do, or I'm not sure I want to do that. And it's kind of like, what? What does that mean? You don't like me? Does that mean I should feel ashamed? Does that mean I'm looked at negatively? And again, I see healthy boundaries and I take it personally as something wrong with me. Our emotional location is often not ready for healthy boundaries or a healthy relationship. The knots in my head fit the holes in your head kind of relationships. I've had this happen many times, and see if you've thought of it. Not only many times, I've had this happen for me, so I know how this feels. I don't know my own healthy boundaries. I want a relationship that makes me feel loved. I have never seen modeling of healthy relationships. I feel worthless, shameful, guilty, and unlovable. Then they come and ask me, Jerry, I don't know why my relationships don't work. Well, let's go back over those beliefs again, and let's go back over those statements. And again, I've said that myself. I said all those things, and I said, I don't know why I can't find relationships that work. Because I don't have a relationship with myself that works. And that's where we need to begin. Join the online program listed down below in the description. That's where I begin to train, teach, and help give tools for learning how to have a better relationship with you and to find better relationships with other people through the work of self-differentiation. I hope you'll join me. It also includes a year-long group sessions once a month with me and those group participants. I think it could be a real help for you. Number 3, we seek validation and familiarity. That's another reason why we might end up in toxic relationships. I try to find people or relationships that do for me what I'm not doing for myself. So if I don't validate myself, I'm going to go out there and try to find any validation I can. Just like I mentioned in the previous one, if I don't love me or have a good relationship with me, I'll go out and try to find someone to have a good relationship with. Good luck. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. I know it doesn't work that way from personal experience. I try to find people or relationships, again, that do for me what I'm not doing for myself. And I was programmed not to do for myself. That's what growing up in a narcissistic family or a toxic family will do. It will program you to not do for yourself. And there are ways to unlearn that and to begin to find a new real self. Fourthly, unknown healthy normal. We don't know what a healthy normal is. I can remember not knowing what a healthy normal was. I remember I went to graduate school twice, got a couple of master's degrees, and in one of them, in working on marriage counseling and such like that, or marriage and what is a healthy marriage, and I'm just looking at that going, is this what a healthy marriage is? Really? Oh, wow. That's new. I wondered what a healthy marriage or a healthy family might look like. And I was discovering that. And again, many of us who grew up in narcissistic homes, abusive homes, dysfunctional homes, we don't know a healthy normal. What I know in terms of normal is I know family of origin normal. That's the normal that most of us know. When they say that's normal, usually it's a family of origin normal because it's a part of their subjectivity. Here's a part of that family normal, that it's normal to swing back and forth in a polarized way of, falling deeply in love and then ending up in arguments and frustration and then love bombing and doing all that again and then wanting to leave and being upset. And we just keep swinging back and forth between the two. That's pendulum life. Codependents tend to live pendulum life. That reactivity is normal. And that, hey, if you yell at somebody, if you feel really intensely reactive, that's just family of origin normal. That's what should go into relationships. A deep fear is often normal, having underlying deep fear. Trauma is normal. I don't know my feelings. That's normal. That's a family of origin normal. But I'm overwhelmed by my feelings. That's normal. Isn't that interesting? That on the one hand, I don't know what my feelings are. On the other hand, I become overwhelmed by my feelings. And in fact, those people I think who don't deal with their feelings often deal with their feelings all the time. They just don't know it. It's guiding them, pushing them, pulling them, and directing them. So we don't know what healthy is, and we want to learn that so that we can have healthy relationships and connect with others who want a healthy relationship. Fifthly, let's talk about unworthiness. And unworthiness is a common problem for those who grew up in narcissistic homes, adult children of narcissists, and many other dysfunctional families. I just feel unworthy. That can come from CPTSD, shaming, rage, being demeaned, where the self in a toxic family is under constant bombardment. And guess what we do when we become adults? We end up bombarding ourselves, and we take over the job of bombarding and demeaning and being angry with ourselves and shaming ourselves. We take over the job, and we want to stop taking over that job. And I think there are ways to do that. When we have been given those gifts of our inheritance, where we have had this strong unworthiness message sent, and some even beaten into their bodies, but that unworthiness, our parents are not going to take it back. We have to give it back and give it away. And when I say give it back, I don't mean go back and confront them and rage and be reactive. What I mean is we want to give it back to the universe, and we want to give it away so that we can see our true worthiness. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll comment. I hope you'll like this video. I definitely want to thank you for watching. Also, I've appreciated the donations that people have generously given in the comments. That helps me to continue to do free videos for everyone. Again, thank you for being here and joining me. Have a great day and be wise.